So according to Red Letter Media, less than 400,000 people, 40. Oh my God, 40. Less than 40,000 people watch Starfleet Academy per episode. Oh my God, that's really bad. I mean, 400,000 per episode is bad for a very expensive streaming show, but 40,000, yeah, I already knew it was 40,000. I'm just messing with you guys. Anyway, we're going to talk about this. Some people tried to say that they were joking. I don't know if they're joking just based on what we have seen online. Like when Starfleet Academy was streaming on YouTube, the numbers were abysmal. They were so bad. The numbers were so bad that Gary from Nerdrotic would stream a Spock figure sitting in a chair, and he would get more concurrent viewers than Starfleet Academy. That's how bad things are, right? So we knew they were bad. We knew that the ratings were dropping. We knew that this thing was canceled before season 2 even aired. And we knew it probably was dead on arrival. I think the first couple episodes got some views, but they tried to spin it like, well, this is one of our top shows on a Tuesday. Yeah, it was dead on arrival. I never could have imagined the viewership being this low, though. I mean, this is absolutely insane. So we're going to take a look at this and see what's going on, try to make sense of it. It's really easy to make sense of it, though. Nobody wanted this fucking show. Like, nobody wanted this show. And the people that are trying to defend it, congratulations, you're speaking for the 40,000 people, the 40K that actually watched this show. So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. This is Kneon. This is CLOWNFISH TV. And if these numbers are true, if they are true, this is one of the biggest disasters in Star Trek history, because that shows that there's virtually no audience for this show, especially given how much it costs. So Fandom Pulse has an article on it. Giant Freaking Robot has an article on it. Let's go out to Fandom Pulse first, and then we'll see what Giant Freaking Robot has to say. They said the fallout from the embarrassment of Starfleet Academy continues, as now Mike from Red Letter Media claims less than 40,000 people watch Starfleet Academy per episode. Starfleet Academy had notoriously low ratings, failing to chart in Nielsen's top 10 overall, and also failing many weeks even to make the top 10 inside the Paramount Plus app. Yeah, then at the end, now this is what they're saying. I'm pretty sure it was Fandom Pulse. They were saying that they think Kurtzman was pumping the numbers up toward the end to... It wasn't like it suddenly rebounded. People discovered the show and they all wanted to watch it. They think that he was pumping the numbers up toward the end to get an extension on his deal, or at least leave on a high note, but he's out the damn door, right? Despite Paramount releasing the first episode of the show on YouTube for free to get people to attempt to check it out, the gambit didn't work. The show was pronounced canceled after its first season, even though the second season had already been filmed and was in post-production. People were like, well, it couldn't have been that bad. They got 2 seasons. They renewed it. No, what happened was they had an initial episode order. That's how these things work, right? If you're going to spend X millions of dollars, you're going to spread that out across X number of episodes. And considering their seasons are only like 10 episodes, it's basically one full season of like Next Generation or DS9. So it basically was canceled after 1 season, right? The actors for the show have been doing a press tour, lashing out at fans and playing victim over the last week. The heat from fans became so bad that Robert Picardo announced he would be taking a break from X, saying still blocking the rude, crude, hateful, and stupefyingly stupid, which are never in short supply here. And of course, all the bots. It's a full-time job. Robert Picardo and also Tim Russ and a few others from 90s Star Trek. Like, I love their shows, but they really need to get off of social media. These guys need to get... Tim Russ especially. Like, man, Tim Russ is just... lost. And I met him in person years ago at a con. He was a very, very nice guy. Like I had no issue with him, but yeah, he is like Geeky says, he is so pickled right now that he spends all of his days ranting about Trump and the government and whatever. And this is some old man, get off my lawn energy. This is old men sitting around reading the newspaper, bitching about the world and the politics, whatever. It's like, you guys need to go get some other work. So you don't have all this time to bitch about politics and get on social media and tarnish your legacy, really. You know, it's like all you got to do. I mean, you're allowed to have your opinions, but like, you're not doing yourselves any favors. You really aren't by just like getting into fights with people online. It's like, do something else, man. Despite announcing this, he kept posting about Trump angrily every single day. And this would be Robert Picardo. He stopped mentioning Starfleet Academy, in which he starred as the emergency medical hologram. Meanwhile, on Red Letter Media's new review episode, where they talk about the first season of Voyager, Mike reveals he has an insider talking about the ratings for the show after Rich announced Star Trek is dead. Yeah, these guys, it's so weird for all the vitriol that YouTubers in this commentary space get. These guys are absolutely savage, right? They're savage, but I don't think they post as many episodes, and I think people kind of forget they're there because they've been doing it for so long. I think OG YouTubers get more of a pass in some cases than a lot of the newer YouTubers. But yeah, these guys are absolutely savage. And I do believe 100% that they have insiders coming to them, given how long they've been doing this and their connections to the movie industry. So somebody tried to say this was a joke, clearly a joke. I don't know if it's a joke. I don't think it's a joke. Mike replied, I heard from my source. Do you want to know the numbers? The entire first season of Star Trek Starfleet Academy, not individual episodes, the entire season total views about 400,000. Okay, it is 400,000. 400,000, not per episode. Cumulatively, the entire series, about 400,000 views, which is an average of maybe 40,000 views per episode. If this is true, the level of viewership is lower than people could have possibly imagined. Those levels are completely dismal, and the budget is apparently 10 to 20 million per episode. My God. That is bad. So let's see what Giant Freaking Robot has to say. Giant Freaking Robot covers Star Trek in depth. I know that the site owner is a big Trekkie. What's the proper terminology? I don't want to misgender the Trekkers or the Trekkies now. What is the preferred? See, I'm a Doctor Who fan, and they're calling themselves Whovians. I would have gone for Hooters. Especially if you were a Jodie Whittaker fan. I'm just saying, it makes more sense. So yeah, this is coming from Giant Freaking Robot. Mike's numbers are correct. Not only does it mean that Starfleet Academy is one of the most colossal failures in the history of streaming, it also means that most of the show's defenders are bots. Oh my God, guys. Oh my God. It means the petition to resurrect the show is fake, since it has 10,000 signatures. Unless you're willing to believe that 1/4 of all the people who watched it actually found out a petition exists and then went through the trouble of signing it. So putting them in context, it's impossible to overstate just how terrible those numbers are. For comparison purposes, Giant Freaking Robot's rather small YouTube channel has done numerous videos on Star Trek. Our least watched Star Trek video got more than 40,000 views. A video we did on what's wrong with modern Star Trek got more than 250,000 views. And it's weird that they mentioned this on Red Letter Media in a retrospective on Voyager, because people aren't going to watch an episode dedicated to reviewing Starfleet Academy unless it's shitting on it. And this is why they're so angry. This is why you keep seeing all these articles all of a sudden from websites like the Mary Sue attacking YouTubers, because they know the truth. The truth is the YouTubers, for the most part, do echo fan sentiment. And even if you take the YouTubers out of the equation, because people are like, those toxic chuds are ruining everything. Just imagine nobody is watching these YouTubers, right? And just look at the numbers, because the vast majority of people who watch these shows, who watch streaming shows, don't go out to YouTube first and see what their leaders or whatever are saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're just watching it on their own. They're flipping through the home screen. They're looking for something to watch. If it looks interesting, they'll watch it, or their friends talk about it or whatever. YouTubers are not influencing normal people in the numbers that these idiots think they are. And neither are your websites. People decide, they look at something and they decide for themselves that they want to watch it or not. And they're looking at Starfleet Academy and they're like, that show looks fucking terrible, and I'm not going to fucking watch a Klingon prance around in a dress. Okay. I mean, that's basically it. They're like, this looks like 90210 shit. Not going to watch it. Not interested. Not Star Trek to me. And the brand has been so damaged before this. So if this is the case, though, that is worse than The Acolyte. And The Acolyte was a low for Disney Plus. I mean, this is a colossal failure. So Red Letter Media's new video discussing old episodes of Star Trek Voyager, it's already gotten 500,000 views in less than a day. So people actually care about the old Star Trek. which is weird. I'm saying that they care about old Star Trek, all that old Star Trek from the 90s. I guess it is old Star Trek. I'm thinking the original series, but they said there are also similar reports of ratings disasters for the previous Star Trek release, Section 31, which I completely forgot existed. And the franchise has already canceled nearly everything else it had going on, probably because the ratings simply aren't there. All of this calls into question why Alex Kurtzman, the man in charge of Star Trek, still has a job at Paramount. Yeah, they moved him to something else, though, right? Makes you wonder who might be behind all the fake bots and paid defenders out there pumping up the show. So there is a theory, a conspiracy theory, that Kurtzman is hiring a PR firm or something to do damage control. And that's really weird. You look at that and then look at what's going on with J.J. Abrams, that he's downsizing Bad Robot and moving it out of Hollywood, moving it to New York. That's weird too. I mean, there's a lot of, I think the jig is up. I think everybody knows that this era of Star Trek is a bust. It's, the Ellisons apparently are huge Star Trek fans, and Gene Roddenberry's son seems like he's on board with whatever comes next, but it's not going to look like Starfleet Academy. That's for damn sure. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. There we go. Please subscribe. We'll talk later.